Hello everyone, my name is Sam and welcome back to the Betwixt Galleria. I shall be your humble curator for the evening as we dive back into more lovely visions of late night New York and vampires. Yeah. Sorry that the stream is a bit late. I don't actually have an excuse. I just kind of was watching another stream, weirdly enough, almost like right after I got through a different stream, and realized, oh, I should be doing something today. So here I am. Okay, so last we left off, Tamika filled us in on her clan, and we witnessed the Second Inquisition kidnap someone who may or may not be a... not Malkavian, wasn't Bruja either. Or maybe it was Bruja? Whichever... no, it wasn't Bruja. Whichever clan it is that's like animalistic. And this one was very animalistic, like, old school Wolfman animalistic, like it had like hair all over his face, that kind of thing. I thought he was a werewolf at first. So that should have been this night. And it looks like we can do one more thing tonight. We can start Faith and Myth, a nosy reporter, or we can just do another Hope one. I'm gonna do another Hope one, because I like Hope. Hope is great. When you reach a cafe, you're welcomed by the familiar face of the waiter who first let you inside. You exchange looks and nods. He hides his vape pen in a back pocket. She's been expecting you. Something happened to her car, and she hasn't exactly left her room ever since. He scratches his head, shrugs, and gestures at you to follow him. It's the same route as before, first beyond the locked door at the end of the room, with all the computers, then into an endlessly gray labyrinth. Computers. I've been having such an issue, because I've been rewatching a lot of my streams, and it's so weird how when I hear myself, I think I'm pronouncing words like correctly, succinctly, quickly, but then I listen to myself again, and it's very different. I don't mean like, oh, my voice is different, I don't like it. Like, no, it sounds like not just a completely different person. Like, there are words that I thought I had pronounced really quickly, very clearly, that are just outright like mumbled gibberish, or just outright like you can tell that I'm like pronouncing it very slowly and very deliberately, which is really weird and kind of freaked me out. And I need voice coaching. That's what I need, or a brain scan, one of the two, because I am so positive that what I hear is very different from like what is being recorded. And it's kind of got me a bit worried. It's the same route as before. Okay, alright, that. Like every now and then, like you can tell like some word, and I can tell when some words that like it sounds like I'm skipping over vowels, like right there. T's I seem to have kind of an issue with. It feels very forced. Whenever I'm pronouncing anything with like a T, when there's like too many S's in a sentence, it's weird for me. It's like my tongue is getting tired of pronouncing S's, or like it sounds like I'm like quick reading. Like I'm skipping over vowels as my brain is like my mouth can't keep up with my brain as it's trying to read at a faster pace, and my mouth is trying to keep up. Sounds like it's trying to keep up with my brain, But by the nature of it being, you know, a brain, it physically can't. Anyway, finally you reach a door that would look like any other to a random bystander. Of course, by now you know that Hope's Haven lies beyond it. It also doesn't help that this game does actually just sometimes have weird sentence structure. Like we've seen a couple of those already. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, enough of my complaints. Back to the game. The waiter bids you adieu, and an exaggerated bow starts walking back to the cafe. You enter the familiar room. This time, the lights are on inside. Pretty. Oh, Hope is inside, walking around nervously, overseeing every screen in sight. When she spots you, she wastes no time in introductions. Kara Montgomery, what do you know of her? Do we know her? Nope, that's the log. New unread all praise pieces. We don't have characters, do we? No, we don't. Okay. Heard something. You could have seen her in listicles such as Top 5 Baddest Women in Tech 2018, 12 CEOs who spark innovation through empathy, or 20 entrepreneurs with the mysterious ties to Jeffrey Epstein. I keep forgetting the Jeffrey Epstein thing was like 6 years ago now. Or no, 6 years? No, this was 2019. So this was just 4 years ago. You don't get to voice your answer. The question was just a minor curiosity. She has a monologue to deliver and she won't allow any interruptions. Monologue. 20 years ago, she was a failed .com investor. Now she's CEO of Double Spiral, a brand management startup, working at the crossroads of big data and influencer culture. Oh, not really giving her much of a voice, am I? I mean, it's not like you can tell. I'm not good with voices. Quotation marks are odd. The quotation marks are audible, dripping with venom. Yeah. Long story short, she spent years convincing her Camarilla contacts, as in out-of-touch old farts angry about smartphones, that Kindred can benefit from controlling the internet. Her IT ghouls have done a lot of research on deepfakes, AI, and machine learning. It's her fault! Say no more, let's go get her! Alright, her goal is the ability to generate thousands of unbelievable human online accounts. Oh, fuck, that feels... I remember when this felt like it was still kind of not pertinent to the collapse of things. Ugh. Basically an army of posters that could brute force anything into the mainstream discourse. The elders took a while to get the concept, but eventually Kara got her blessings. Got their blessing. Ah, gotta drink some more. The thing is, she claims her tech is ready to be tested, but it needs one final component to work properly, and that's why she pauses. She proposed a truce. Truce. S's. It's like I have a lisp or something. Fuck her. Took the words right out of my fucking mouth. But no matter how much I hate her guts, this is a blessing in disguise. Hear me out. Are we gonna swindle her? She picked a public place in Manhattan, neutral ground where we can meet without the fear that the other party might do something stupid and violate the masquerade. She wants to just talk. You will go there, in my place, and listen to her terms. We won't accept them, of course, especially not after she just tried to kill us. Oh, that's okay. That's who this is. You will just steal her voice and walk away. Oh, we can record her? I'm going alone. Steal her voice. Why won't we accept the truths? I mean, we can guess that. What next? Will you trade her mermaid tail for legs? A Disney joke? Sweet. What next? Will you hit me with a topical Harry Potter reference? Fuck. Is there one in here somewhere? I feel like there is. I'm not trying to be obtuse here. Wait a second, let me explain my plan. You see, there is only one way to even the odds. Pronounce, damn it, throat. I'm looking at you. Come on, pronounce words. We have to hit Kara where it hurts, and she's only got one weak point. Double spiral headquarters. We can burn it? Kara's the only person there with access to every room. The security is something she came up with herself. Voice-based, but use a different password phrase every time. There's no way she came up with that herself. That feels like basic voice recognition usage, like, from like the get-go. That doesn't make sense. I don't believe that. That feels like no. That means just recording her talking. Recording her talking is not enough. We have to get in. That's why I started selling illicit materials to people with access to advanced deepfake audio technology. Fuck yeah, we're gonna use her own tools against her. I've got it right in this room. Now all I need is a sample base that will allow me to manufacture a bot that talks like her to monitor data. I need to... right. Hold on, let me reread that again. All I need is a sample base that will allow me to manufacture a bot that talks like her. To monitor data, I need to stay here. Need to stay here. Words. Still, I think the plan is pretty simple. Yeah, see, like, pretty. Like, for some reason, whenever I try, like, say pretty, like, really quickly, it's just pretty. Like, you can't even, like, hear the T. It's... I don't know what's with me. I need voice coaching. I need to take a class. I need to actually learn how to pronounce words. I actually used to go to speech therapy as a kid, which oddly enough, like, it wasn't being diagnosed with like ADHD or having like trouble in class that got me the school district's attention for like because I had a IEP, an individual education program as a kid. I was one of the lucky kids who got one of those. But the reason I got it was not because of my diagnosis nor like any trouble I had in class. It was because of my speech wasn't up to par. So like me having to be put into a speech program got me the IEP status, which is kind of weird. Because, like, my brother and sister, they had trouble and a diagnosis, respectfully, in school, the same school district. That didn't get them any attention. But my slurred speeching apparently did, which is weird. Honestly, I think, like, fuck, so many kids I knew needed an IEP. Like, oh my god, I don't want to get into it. It's a sad topic. I consider myself extremely lucky that I had that, and I do not consider myself worthy of having it compared to a lot of the other kids I knew who desperately needed it. Still, I think the plan is pretty simple. You talk to her while wearing a wire. I process the recordings here to steal her voice, and voila, she's wide open. Just like an old spy movie from, like, the 90s. Wow, the 90s was 30 years ago. I was born in the 90s. We are old. Then we invade Double Spiral and destroy it from within. The evil is defeated. I become a part of your crew. Happy ending for everybody. But how does that sound to you? Will she even talk to me? I mean, it sounds fun. But will she talk to me? She wanted to talk to you. Why would she talk to me? Yes, she's too stuck up to talk to a total rando, but given an opportunity to get Sophie Langley's right hand on her side, she won't let it pass her by. And even if you weren't a minor celebrity in the city, I'm sure our connection would have been enough to hear you out. Hope shakes her head and claps her hands. When she speaks up, she sounds different, more spaced out, stuttering. Huh. Get this weird feeling of being called out for some reason. Anti-social engineering. Alright, let me fix you up with the hardware. I don't really want to do the stuttering because I feel like that feels kind of offensive. Dogs are barking. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know, it just can't, it doesn't feel right for me to do that. Oh wait, hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. She hands you a minuscule earpiece and starts attaching a small decorative pin to your clothes, along with some masked wiring. It's a directional microphone. I can clean up the audio later, but keep it pointed directly at Kara as much as possible. Alright? Ah, okay, that wasn't stuttering, that was actually just me stuttering. You put on the earpiece she gave you. It fits snugly deep in... Snugly... That's such a weird word to use there. It fits snug deep inside your right ear. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. The hardware works flawlessly and the audio quality seems great. You give Hope an affirmative sign with your head. Hand, not head. Hand. Hand. Okay. Beautiful. Card designated the meeting place as the Vessel. You've heard about that place, right? It's right by the eastern end of the Lincoln Tunnel. A giant pile of staircases, basically impossible to miss. Manhattan's answer to the Eiffel Tower, or a gaudy monument to being only ever so slightly free, depending on who you ask. I'd drive you there, but my car is still in the shop, and I don't want to risk being spotted by Kara's people. And I need to process the voice data from here. Sorry, just trying to get my breath back. Which means I have a perfectly acceptable number of excuses for not letting myself get anywhere close to that demonic old hag. You involuntarily roll your eyes a little bit. Hope sits in front of her screens, pretending to not have noticed. So, should we get this show on the road, or what? Or what? Ah, voice, mouth, words. Ready whenever you are. No sense lingering here. You get back to the street and find your car. Wrapping up this show as quickly as possible sounds like a good idea. Around 30 minutes later, you are in front of the Vessel. Hope's description, a giant pile of staircases, wasn't particularly helpful. From the distance, the building looks more like a giant honeycomb. Oh, I know this building! Yeah! Yeah, I remember something about this. Okay. Designed to swarm with tourist bees. At least during the day, that is. At the moment, the place is closed to the general public. A few men who look vaguely threatening and out of place are making sure nobody unwanted gets in. However, you have no problem getting up the stairs. All it takes is an exchange of knowing glances with one of the guards. You are expected. A lone figure appears in your sight, staring down at the streets of Manhattan. Hi. You know, city people often complain about being unable to see the starry skies. But I always thought the real tragedy was how they're unable to appreciate the man-made sea of lights that surrounds them. Look, I'm not gonna argue that skyscrapers, are or are not good, because, I don't know, it's safe space. Don't be like this. You can teach people a lot of things, but you can't teach them to see, huh? I don't like her. You recognize the face from Hope's phone. Finally, you meet Kara Montgomery in the flesh. She turns to you, puts on a wide smile, and shakes her hand with a firm grip. First a representative of Sophie Langley, now a representative of Hope. Not the way I'd developed my own career, but I gotta say, not many neonates get around the way you do. Hardy fucking har. Oh yeah, because she's in my ear. Hope speaks up in your ear for the first time, seething with contempt. Although Kara couldn't possibly have heard her, she immediately goes on to address her absence. Can't say I expected her to actually arrive here with you or in the... Wait. Can't say I expected her to actually arrive here with or instead of you. On the other hand, I'm sure every single word I say will be instantly relayed to her. And for the first time in forever, your empathy blabbering will serve an actually useful cause. So let me make sure we cut out everyone but the middleman for a while, okay? She takes out her phone and taps the touchscreen. In a few seconds, the barely perceptible buzzing sound in your ear disappears completely. Oh, oh, she Faraday caged us. Okay, so kids, a Faraday cage is a no, you can Google that. Actually, does a Faraday cage work on Wi-Fi? I wouldn't think so, right? Because Wi-Fi is a different thing. Like, it's very different, right? Anyway, you can't hear Hope anymore. It's probably she can't hear your voice right now either, which would mean she must be busy raging, cursing out everything in her sight at the moment. This obviously wasn't something she expected to happen. Could it be that Kara saw through your plan? You have to play it cool and see what happens next. Knowing Hope, you've probably heard whatever scraps can be Googled about me and a pile of insults for good measure. Obviously, I know everything there's to be known about you as well, Sam. Sorry, I just had a very Metal Gear Solid 3 flashback here. Ooh, excuse me. I don't believe we have a need for formal introductions, but first off... Oh, excuse me. Let me apologize for the discomfort my former employee has caused you. I wasn't remotely aware of his planned actions against Hope. I fully condemn them. I'm glad to see you unharmed, and of course applaud your swift disposal of the psycho. Langley chose you well. Brief silence. Her name's Langley. I just got that. Anyway, so let me cut to the chase here, and present myself the best way I know how, through my ideas. I already don't like where this is going. Who do you think has a monopoly on reality? This is exhausting already. Not much for small talk, is she? Who do you think has a monopoly on reality? Corporations, we do, the state. God. She's gonna say corporations, but it's we. We do. Kara raises her eyebrow. Now that's a platitude if I've ever heard one. Unless you mean us as in the Kindred. She's gonna be exhausting, isn't she? And Monopoly is a bit much, but yes, we've been pretty adept at controlling the narrative regarding our existence throughout the ages. That's not what I meant, but I don't know. Okay, good. Continue. Too bad we've started slipping up recently. We were completely unprepared for the information era, and the existence of the Second Inquisition is a direct consequence of that. So many final deaths that could have been avoided. But, unlike Hope, who decided to separate herself from this shit show and criticize them from a safe distance without offering any solutions, I'm here to take matters into my own hands. She signals to someone behind you. For a while, you've been watched by Kara's men, who circle around the staircases. Presumably her ghouls. One of them sets off downstairs. You know, Bolivia just had a military coup. Hundreds of new accounts posting about nothing but Bolivian politics in English, set out to convince every random person online that the US wasn't to blame. Sloppy work, if you ask me. Hold on, sorry. Now imagine this, a 17-year-old K-pop fan from Ohio writing an entire thread about her relatives in La Paz. La Paz? Apologies for this pronunciation, La Paz, are actually glad the president is gone. A film reviewer with a side interest in politics selling you a CIA-approved narrative about evil morals and approachable fitness guy explain the situation to you in simple terms just like it is. Animated voice, expressive gestures, and steady eye contact, she's taught herself how to project a good image, but isn't it natural yet. At times it feels like she's screaming at you to trust her. Yep, I got that. It's not hard to emulate the masses. Okay, reach out to one of those Eastern European troll farms and bang, a few hours later you have a clone army that will instantly voice their support for any cause. You will spread their message, but you won't foster a new culture that serves your goals. Won't masquerade your messaging as independent thought. For that, you need personalities, not the masses. But the ability to emulate personalities, a whole different ballgame. Oh my god, my fucking... Not a craft, but an art. You need to understand your fabrication so deeply that you start to hate it, and then learn to love it. And if you want to make a bunch of those personalities follow one agenda, you need a once-in-a-lifetime team to achieve that. A like-minded artistic collective, both ambitious and obedient. Even though you can't hear Hope's voice in your right ear now, you could swear you hear her in Kara's speech. It's the exact same tone she was using when monologuing in the car. One of them must have been a big influence on another, or perhaps they used to be in a position where they both shaped each other's personas? Hard to say. Only one thing is for sure, and that is Hope must be absolutely furious right now. Is it possible that Kara knew about her plot? Fingers crossed that she doesn't. Ah, my voice. The state is satisfied when an account that was unused for 5 years suddenly starts yelling imperialistic propaganda into the void. The aging corporations are too set in their ways. But imagine a fresh startup that enables the proliferation of ideas. For fuck's sake. That enables the proliferation of ideas adjacent to the prince's plans for the future. Now imagine it getting into bed with the biggest corporations and agencies. So many unlives that could be improved, or even saved from the raids of First Light. I have the infrastructure, I have the elder support. All I need now is a mastermind at the center of it all. Have you been on the internet lately, ma'am? have you seen the internet? You're not the first one here. Wait. Oh, that's her gimmick. The mastermind? Yes. Hope. She looks down and takes in the scenery below for a while. Then she points at her t-shirt, the one piece of clothing that clashes with the rest of her... Sorry. That clashes with the rest of her outfit. You know, I'm a huge fan of punk. Oh my god. The leading idea of my company can't have those two... whatever. Double spirals to make everything I do a little bit punk. I'm all about clashing ideas. I'm all about disruption. Ma'am, you're not... You're not making... You're not making Across the Spider-Verse, ma'am. You're falling for your own... You're falling for your own pitch. You blink a few times in a quick succession. Oh god, you think to yourself, she's that kind of person. You saw a lot of them in your old life. Another establishment asshole opting everything anti-establishment, blasting fugazi while ruining lives via Excel spreadsheets. You might have punched a boss cut from the same cloth once. You collect yourself and escape from memory lane. Kara started talking about hope, so you'd better listen. To me, hope is as punk as it gets. A free spirit, fiercely independent, an internal contrarian. God, I've heard that word a lot. Never actually seen it spelled out. An internal contrarian, at odds with everything and everyone, developing her talents just because she finds it joyful. Because people like developing talents. Why is that odd? But God, does this girl need guidance? Not putting her talents to better use, running away, posting inane bullshit all the time? All the time? What a waste. I've built an environment specifically to develop her talents, let her become indispensable to our society, but she rejects it because of some idiotic hang-ups. Sorry, just lips were getting chapped. I don't expect you to change your mind about me just because I kept yapping and yapping. I just hope you'll keep my perspective in mind and serve as the voice of reason Hope really needs right now. Now that I've had my say, how about we put our girl back on? She taps her phone again. A quiet buzz reappears in your right ear. This is a better safe than sorry kind of thing, isn't it? There's no one listening in. Maybe you're right. Maybe not. She's 100 years too early to even think of accusing accessing my comp. She's shitting you. Don't sell her anything but bullshit in return. Look who's back. Hell yeah! Don't worry. She should have heard everything. I just wanted to spare you an annoying commentary track while I introduce myself. Excuse me for a second. I don't know, that kind of sounds like someone who's trying to cover their tracks on something not working. One of Kara's guards approaches to show her something on his phone. Hope uses the distraction and get you up to speed with how things are on her side. Yeah, for a second there I was about to rage that the hack had gotten the better of us. But hey, go figure. She just wanted to take a piss in my Cheerios. The plan worked. We got it then. I have a lot data from her monologuing and some private sources, but the more we gather, the better. This display here says some more K letters could be useful. So, don't beat yourself up about it if you fail, but if you get her to repeat something with K in it, that might improve your deep fake voice. Ooh, okay, I gotta think about this one. Looks like Kara's done talking to the guard. Sorry about that. Looks like I got to attend a sudden meeting with the Google representative shortly. Hope snorts. Not bragging, though. By the way, does anyone but Hope know about this little rendezvous? Your patron? Any other companion? Or maybe the Nosferatu? Sophia Langley, Virginia. The Nosferatu? Nobody. Doesn't really give me a good indication which would be a better. Because I don't want to throw Langley all around. But I also don't want just nobody, like, for it to just be nobody, because that feels like she's gonna kill me if I say that. The Nosferatu. I feel like the Nosferatu just know everything that's going on. So what if it's the Nosferatu? Kara's face takes on a hard expression. When she starts talking, she takes great pains not to say too much. Word advice, kid. Kaiser's not in this business to be kind to strangers. Kaiser's only got Kaiser's interest in mind, and nothing else. Oh! Would he be listening then? He might not let it show, but he's always in a kill or be killed mindset. If you're doing business with him, keep that in mind at all times. Hope lets out a quiet triumphant howl. We did it! Well, the screen tells me this should be all the K we need. Good job. Holy crap, I can't believe that worked. Oh, excuse me. Kara decides to change the subject. Anyway, no offense, but since Hope's not here, I really have to rush. Honestly, I feel a little insulted that she set up this meeting and didn't even bother to show up. Insulted and suspicious, her tone of voice betrays her. She might have some good instincts, too bad she didn't trust them here. Still, out of respect for Langley, I decided to have this talk with you, to explain you why I'm an asset to the Camarilla, and to explain why the elders need Hope by my side. Gosh, controlling is what this is. What the worm-brained hag here forgot to mention is that the elders don't give a shit about me. Even if you don't see it my way, I believe I've sown some seeds here that might sprout in the near future. Double Spiral looks out for people who look out for it. For it is all I'm saying. Oh my god, your words. But before I leave, you know, there's one thing I really wish I knew. Back when I knew her, she was a different person. Or different people, depending on how you look at it. Why does she fight against me so much? So much. What's her motivation to resist? What's her motivation? Good question. She's never shared it with you. She's punk, dude. Was this not... Is that not... Am I missing something? Answer whatever you want, but A, you better lie through your teeth. B, get her to say V a few times if you can. And might improve a few shortcomings of our deepfake software. Oh, I gotta get her to say V? What's your answer? Payback, retribution, love, survival? I feel like that's too easy. Love, payback. It sure as hell ain't love, so we're gonna go with love. Love, I think. Kara blinks, opens her mouth, and then shuts it. Then she scoffs. Nonsense. Damn it, say V. Of course it was, but she sounds like she was trying to convince herself. Something about your answer resonated with her. One of Kara's people interrupts with a theatrical cough. Kara gestures at him to calm down. I really need to go now. See you... Damn it! See you around, Sam. She begins to walk down the stairs, surrounded by her guards. Once she's gone from before your eyes, Hope decides to summarize your mission. For the love of Christ, wish you could have kept her drone on for a little longer. Turns out the T letter could use some improvement as well. God damn it. Not complaining though, you did good, and don't worry, the data I have should be more than enough to generate a convincing deepfake. I just need to put in some more work. So I guess I will get to that right away. Enjoy the rest of your night. Drop my hardware at your haven when you get a chance. I'll let you know when you're ready to hit Kara's base of operations. Pray for my success, sweetie, and I might be done soon. Maybe even tomorrow. And once we're done with her, we'll talk about how I can repay your generosity. Amen. Amen. Okay, connection drops. It looks like that's all for now. You gaze at the sea of lights around you for the last time, and then start making your way back to street level. And that should be it for the night. Yes? Yes. Alright. Sleep. Qadir al-Asim, the sheriff of New York City, is knocking at the door to your haven. Is it Daddy? The sight comes as more than a little shocking. If he had business with you, you'd either expect to see him already inside or never see him coming at all. Yet there he is, on the other side of the people, patiently and politely waiting for you to let him in. Open the door, open the door, open the door! You carefully unlock the door and face him in silence. Evening. May I come? Wait, okay, I tried to give him like the deepest voice I could. Evening. May I come in? Nope, I still can't do that. You simply stare at him. Your lack of an answer doesn't faze him, and your lack of resistance as he starts walking inside has obviously been interpreted as permission. Once inside, he starts looking around as you cautiously stay by the door. Haven't really had time to make this place your own yet, have you? It feels like Langley's apartment, through and through. A secluded study where nobody studies anything. Look at the books on this shelf. Obviously meant to impress guests, not to be read. They reveal nothing about their owner, aside from the aching desire to be taken seriously as an intellectual. Ooh. He picks one of them up and smirks before putting it away. The phenomenology? What? Of spirit, next to all of this garbage poetry. We can make a bet if she's read more than 20 pages. I owe you $50 and a gallon of blood. If she's read... fuck, I should have reread that. I am not in the mindset for this game tonight. The kind of pace that self-professed hermits entomb themselves into suffer. Considering how much you have to run around these nights, you probably only use it shelter from the sun and rest, huh? Oh, actually, I am getting... My room is getting hot, and I'm thinking of just kind of cutting the stream short pretty soon. Even though he's obviously making an effort to come off as non-threatening, it's impossible to forget the first impression he made. You still see him as a fierce predator, trying hard not to expose his true colors. You sense a familiar fight or flight response as you struggle to find a diplomatic answer to his last question. If Qadir is bothered by your silence, he doesn't let it show. He keeps walking around, toying with whatever catches his eye. Eventually he speaks up again. Watch any baseball lately? If I had to guess, you strike me as a Red Sox fan. I am not into sports, but sure. Now he's inviting you to talk in a more direct manner. You attempt to overcome your physical reaction to him and reply as casually as you can. This one. Your mind keeps going back to that night when everything was changed forever. Waking up in hell with a body next to you, spending a night in that underground sweatbox, unsure what will happen next. That endless car ride, 3 strikes, a bloodthirsty crowd, that blade. A rebirth, a baptism by fire, a frightening executor who made sure the flames scarred your spirit. As you look into his face, you realize he's read the emotions from yours. Not in the mood to exchange pleasantries, There's no animosity in his voice, he's just stating a fact. Let me get straight to the point then. He momentarily stops caring about his surroundings, turning all of his attention to you and demanding the entirety of your attention in return. He has it. You see, there's something I've realized over the years, in large part. I may have been hired just to look menacing with a sword. My job is all about seeing through bonds and relationships. The Camarilla would be safe as long as its members adhere to certain social contracts. Contracts. Words! Pronounce! Making their dealings and affinities plain for everyone to see. But that obviously remains a pipe dream. This is a community of born conspirators, overly ambitious gangsters and politicians, monsters in denial, all sorts of tragically broken individuals. They are driven by desires that make them incompatible with the Masquerade, incompatible with prolonged survival of the Camarilla, incompatible with the methods I use to operate. And so I am doomed to be like a cop, constantly insulted behind my back, maybe for a good reason, but immediately called for help whenever someone loses their tableware. Or, like an Agatha Christie protagonist, you do seem like someone who'd be into Agatha Christie. Outwardly assisted by everyone, but constantly lied to about everyone's past and motivations. Even if my failures solve the mystery, it might be the end of us all. He tries to sound like he's peacefully resigned to his fate, but it's easy to detect a tinge of regret in his voice. A voice belonging to someone who once had bigger ambitions than this. What broke him? So you see, for this detective, the why done it? Is that supposed to be whodunit? The whodunit is far... Okay, the why done it is far more important than who done it or how done it. Why, when you understand all the... Okay, that sentence could have just been something else entirely. When you understand all the players and the mutual obligations, you easily understand every crime. I mean, this isn't like... It's not like these are sentences that are meant to be spoken out loud. This is meant to just be like a read thing in your own head. So like my issue is not like the actual like how it's structured most of the time. It's just that I'm trying to speak it out loud, and it's something that is very clearly not meant to be spoken out loud. But of course the Kindred know it, so they devise ways to make my job much harder. Or at least that's what I assume, at least. Just like conspiracies between two unrelated actors. Oh, excuse me. That depend on scratching each other's backs for mutual security. Or they enforce a blood bond to make someone unexpected their thrall. A boss serving their employee, a rebel serving a tyrant, just because one is regularly being forced to drink another's blood. What has Sophie seen in you? Why does the prince keep asking me about your actions? How come you're being pushed to build your own coterie so fast? You're surrounded by unclear motivations, which you yourself don't understand. That unnerves me, and it should unnerve you as well. Man, I'm just going with the flow. Honestly, I got a sugar mama, I got a coterie of cool people. So far, it's been kinda good for me. I'm gonna be honest with you. And what are your motivations? Oh, and what are your motivations? Finally managed to raise her voice. Qadir notices the effort and smiles softly. So you haven't gone mute since the last time I saw you. Good. Well, I'm here for a selfish reason. I need to develop a report with you to better fulfill my obligations. He's gonna be our, like... Oh my god, the word just vanished from my brain. He's gonna be our parole officer, ain't he? The last time we met, I couldn't see you as my equal. Now that you've been accepted in the Camarilla, what choice do I have? I don't understand if you don't want to see my face again, but I'm one of the faces of the New York City community, and as long as you're a part of it, it's going to be impossible to avoid me. Especially when I have business with you. And I do. As you might have guessed by now, one of my tasks is uncovering and understanding your bonds. It's a fly in here, sorry. And one of them might endanger our community. Well, that's not menacing at all. Who's he talking about? Sophie? Well, my coterie? Kaiser? Is this about Kaiser? Qadir shakes his head. That leper's bad news, if you ask me, but who doesn't trade information with him these days? No, they're not a major player. He produces a file from underneath his coat and passes it to you. Is it Sophie? This is our troublemaker. You open a file, see some printed photos. You freeze up as you recognize the face and overwhelmed by a flood of repressed memories. Uma Thurma? Jessica. Oh, was she the girlfriend? Jessica Lowell. The woman who made the last few years of your life heaven and the last few weeks a living hell. Since she took pretty much everyone you knew with her after the split, you thought the transition to this life would be painless. No baggage at all. Have you thought wrong? You look at Qadir, expecting answers. There are some unfortunate rumors that you committed suicide after a messy breakup, so apparently Miss Jessica here has desperately mobilized everyone she knows to look for you. Oh, God damn it. You told them it was suicide? You couldn't just say I was hit by a truck? Or, like, fell off a bridge or something? Like... a fire? Like, oh my god. There could have been, like, so many other ways you could have, like, pronounced my death. No! Oh. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, that's so bad. I can't... Holy crap. Sorry, give me a second. Okay. Alright. Yep, that'll do it. She'd be looking for me. Turns out she's contacted a lot of people who might recognize you, including some in law enforcement agencies. Holy shit, she's got pull. The risk of endangering us is relatively low, but far from non-existent. Which means she must be stopped. Must be stopped. Sounds threatening. You dread thinking what he's planning. I'll arrange for you to meet tomorrow so that you can straighten the situation out and say goodbye to the life you've forsaken. But, like, I'm dead, though. You could just tell her, like... okay, whatever. Man, I feel like we should coordinate this, you know? Like... It feels like wires got crossed. I feel like you guys, like, took it upon yourself to, like... When doing all the vampire paperwork for me was just, what do we label him? Oh, self-harm. Let's do that. Fudge. And I could have, like, I could have, like, informed you. I could have, like, told you, like, no, wait, I just got through, like, a bad breakup. She's gonna think she's responsible and feel so bad. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Okay, let's do this. He'll arrange what? Your eyes must look like saucers right now. Usually these matters are left to my discretion, and I can't think of an easier solution. The lost sheep reappears, takes care of unfinished business, and disappears, never to be seen again. Nobody cares. It's simple, it's clean, no contrived schemes, no unnecessary victims. And it gives me an opportunity to learn more about you as I observe. When neonates interact with kind they used to hold dear, their true natures are laid bare for everyone to see. Okay. We're going through a breakup. Again. As a vampire. Totally got this, you guys. We totally got this. Of course he's invested in being kind to you, or he's making clear his self-serving intentions so that you don't start figuring them out yourself. Any objections? Any alternatives? Why is like when reading that, it feels so much more different from actually saying it. And, alternatives are probably worse. You shake your head. Very well. I'll arrange a meeting and drive you there tomorrow. Better come up with a loaded bull that's easy to swallow. He disappears from the apartment, leaving you as confused as the last time he closed the door on you. God damn it, you need to think it through. Ugh. Hey, Jessica. For a long time you sit in your haven, lost in your thoughts, remembering how you once thought your world had ended with her leaving. With her leaving. Whining, sure, but seems like it was presentient? What? Prescient whining. Oh my god. I don't say words out loud enough. Okay. Day 2. Oh wow, that was half the day too. Okay, so we got let's do another Tamika one. I should probably do these two. Oh, somebody's watching me. Oh, that's a Sophie one. Last time you failed to resolve a situation with your stalker, you have to get a handle on that one way or another. Oh, but I want to do a Tamika one, but I don't know if this one's gonna pop up again. Let's do this. Walking down the street near your haven, you suddenly spy a young, disheveled woman leaning against a wall. Ooh, excuse me. She looks you straight in the eye and disappears into an alley. She is your stalker. Okay, that's clearly not how that's supposed to be done. She's your stalker. You're certain of it. You take a few running steps to catch up with her, determined to find out what this is all about. Ducking into the alley, you come upon a grisly scene. An old man, a pensioner really, lies broken on the ground. Telltale puncture marks on his neck. 3 vampires stand above the corpse, licking their lips. All were embraced young. 2 men and a woman. Black hoodies, bicycle chain, a facial tattoo. You've never seen them before, and you assume you know why. They're anarchs. They're anarchs. Wait, hold on. They're anarchs. Ah. Hey, it's the Camarilla fucker. Just as promised. I like beating up these privileged little shits. You walked into the simplest ambush in the world. The woman you saw briefly at the mouth of the alley is nowhere in sight. Perhaps that shouldn't be surprising given her obvious powers of invisibility. Let's calm down. Whoa, let's calm down. There's no need for violence. The anarchs come closer, crowding you menacingly. Oh yeah? What if I'd like a bit of violence? This is Camarilla territory. No matter how tough you are, you don't want to cause trouble here. The anarchs look at each other uncertainly. They're clearly mindful of Camarilla power. One of them whispers to the others. Maybe this is a bad idea. Callahan said we've got to be careful around the ivories. Callahan? Do we know Callahan? The other anarchs glance at you nervously. Sorry, it's been like a week and I tend to forget some stuff. I have a bad memory. I'm not a smart person. You guys know this about me. You try to look authoritative and unconcerned, as if you know the Camarilla will have your back. Wait, hold on, did I miss something? The anarchs glance at you nervously. Okay. Maybe it does. It's hard to figure out what the different shadow organizations really mean, but if Camarilla has power, that much is clear. Next time we see you, you're fucked. The anarchs walk past you onto the street, shoving you around a little. Once they're gone, you take stock of the situation. There's a corpse on the ground. Your mystery stalker doesn't seem to mind if you get hurt. You're about to leave, but your consciousness doesn't let you. Better preserve the masquerade. You need to lick the dead man's wounds closed before you leave the alley. Yes! Okay. And yeah, that's all we can do for the night. Oof. Knock knock. You'd ask who's there, but you don't know if the Sheriff of New York could play along. Sheriff of New York City would play along. When you open the door, you see him towering with the card case he's holding in his hand. Ready to go, fledgling? Yeah, yes. You don't like it, but you give him a nod nevertheless. Excellent. Stay close. He leads you down to the vehicle is parked nearby. Once again, he takes the wheel, literally and figuratively. Say the word, figuratively. Everything inside is just the way you remember it, down to the rear view mirror reflecting the intense stare of your guide. However, the trip itself feels notably different. Last time Qadir drove you around, he was forcibly dragging you away from your old life. This time, he's pulling you back into it. Man's a very man. He is a psychopomp. All the things you wanted to say to Jessica keep running through your head. Let me tell you how it's going to go. I mean, of course not literally, so whatever, it doesn't matter. As I said, I've arranged a meeting between you and your kind. It's going to take place somewhere you should know very well. I'll watch over the two of you from a safe distance to make sure you adhere to the rules. You should know those very well. But I'll reiterate just so you can't ever say I didn't warn you. Don't do anything that would violate the masquerade. Don't establish some secret routes of contact I will know. Do treat it as the last time you two will meet. Take this chance to wrap everything up. Here's your story. You're fine. Found yourself at crossroads, decided to radically change your life and move out of the city. The subway is unbearable. The rent is too high, they've heard it all. You were ready to leave New York for good when you heard those absurd rumors about taking your own life, so you decide to set the record straight. He gives you a knowing look, and close the curtains on your relationship once and for all on your terms. The car makes a sudden turn. I'll leave the finer details to you. Just be so kind, and don't make me regret it. You can sense he's going out of his way for you, but doesn't try to force you into gratitude by stating it plainly. If you know, you know. He'll see if you are worthy of his aid. We're here. You take a look around, recognize your destination. He was right. It's a familiar place. Isn't that club? That's not a sentence. Oh, it's okay. It's that club, the one you met your future siren while trying to figure out Jess. This is where they last saw poor Sam. Who knows whatever might have happened to him? One Jessica Lowell is trying to find out. She got a tip from an anonymous source saying that you might appear here tonight. You wouldn't want to disappoint the lady, would you? She's apparently quite distraught. He turns off the engine and relaxes comfortably in his seat. You silently leave the car and head straight for the club. Last time you were headed this way, you still have pulse. Feels almost nostalgic. There's a party getting started. And some rookie DJs trying to read the crowd. You begin to look for Jess. You wonder what the first thing you say to her should be. No! Fuck. I don't want to be dismissive, but I don't want to be... I mean, it feels distant enough. I think that's the best of these choices. Yeah, that should work. Ugh. Ugh. The music is pulsing, and there are good vibes in the air. You spot a girl hurry to the bathroom with a nosebleed. The smell is faint, but it gets you in the mood to have some fun. However, Qadir indicated that he's got a pair of eyes around here somewhere. Better stick to the plan. A stupid idea pops into your head. If you meet her and she says, "I want to be with you again," what would you do? No, I'm not siring. No, I'm not siring someone. Have one last good night before leaving. Reject the idea immediately. What's done is done. Best not to dwell with it. Yes, exactly. Thank you. By now, it feels like you've explored all the places Jess could have been. It's getting frustrating. You grab the cheapest drink they have from the bar. A tall blonde girl in stylish skirt smiles at you from behind heart-shaped glasses. You smile back, but this is no time for the heart to guide the hand. You walk past her, back to your duty. You mimic taking a sip of your drink. God, you could have been having so much fun tonight. You could accidentally stumble on Jessica when you least expect it. She looks at you as if she's seen a ghost. You freeze up, trying to come up with something to say and failing. The last few years of your life flash before your eyes. Wait, what was the line you decided upon to open the conversation with? Before you remember, a powerful slap takes you out of your stupor. You stupid motherfucker. Guess she gets the first line. You realize you spilled your drink all over your clothes. I've been so worried. I've been so fucking worried. Called everyone I knew to look for you. And you're just having fun clubbing. You thought it would be funny to drop all contact with everyone, pretend something happened to you. What, you wanted to see my reaction? She slaps you once again. You let some sort of disassociation set in and just watch the situation as it unfolds. I'll let everybody know you're okay, but don't you ever show yourself in front of me again. She turns her back on you and disappears into the crowd, walking towards the exit. You look around, you notice heart-shaped glasses girl chuckling in the distance. You're no longer in the mood to party. Guess you'll follow Jessica's lead and leave. Better not to keep the sheriff waiting. Wow. Okay, that solved itself. Oh god, I hope that solved itself. Well, at the very least you can say this. She still cares, that's nice. Yeah, I guess that indicates some form of caring. Yeah, I guess that's a fair assessment. Back to Qadir's car. Once you close the door, he instantly puts his foot on the gas pedal. Walking off the pitch with no regrets, said everything you had to say. I mean, yeah, pretty much. You speak up without thinking. Yeah, she said she'll call off the search. Getting her to accept that it was over took some harsh words, but deep down I think she knew it was time to say farewell once it— Wait, am I lying to him? Why are you doing this? I didn't select this. I am your god, damn it. Why are you doing things without my say-so? But she'll live. You spot a playful spark in Qadir's eyes. You took care of it like a man, didn't you? Very good. The people we knew in life have this tendency to briefly reappear in our unlives. One night, let's say 20 years from now, she might spot you on the street. You won't have aged a day from now, and even though she'll tell herself that can't be you, she'll be jealous. And if you look happy, she'll feel regret over what could have been. So for the sake of the night your paths cross once again, I hope you'll search for your own happiness. Aw, thank you, Qadir. The car speeds up to cross the intersection before the light turns red. You give Qadir a good hard look. Thank you. It doesn't feel like a, how do you call it, very vampire thing to say, but you say it nevertheless. He's visibly taken aback, and his usually frowned brow smooths out for a moment. Then he takes on a serious, slightly sorrowful expression. Don't suck up to me, kid. Mr. Bad Guy is still here, and without a doubt, he'll go back to decapitate suckers like you anytime now. Is that a promise? The car starts slowing down. We're here. You look out the window and see your haven. Take care. I'll see you around. Just pray I don't have to see you too often. You leave the car and start walking to a haven. Thinking about Qadir. Can't say you're fond of him, what with the welcome he gave you and all. But after tonight, you can't say you aren't either. You're gonna need some more time to understand him. That's for sure. Okay, this is gonna be the last one for the night. We're gonna go back and do more Tamika. A tapping on the window, a small grayish bird flying off, a small piece of paper left on the windowsill. Prospect ASAP. Tam. She's got freaking birds doing her bidding? That's awesome! Excuse me. As you open the blinds, you're able to spy a small grayish bird flying off into the night. Looking down, you notice a small piece of paper on the windowsill. Prospect ASAP. Tam. Third time's a charm, you think to yourself, as you once again cross the gate Prospect Park and head for Tamika's haven. To your surprise, you find out in the open, sitting on the lawn, surrounded by a host of woodland creatures, birds and squirrels mostly. Wait, let me read that again. To your surprise, you find her out in the open, sitting on the lawn, surrounded by a host of woodland creatures, birds, squirrels, and squirrels. Birds and squirrels mostly. She's a princess. This is the most like Disney thing ever, but vampires. Oh my god, that Disney, your next princess should be vampire. Get on it! The crews each patiently await their turn as she flicks seeds at them. It looks almost whimsical in a twisted sort of way. How are you holding up? Hell of a week, huh? How are you holding up? Well enough, all things considered. She scatters the remaining seeds onto the grass and hops to her feet. I've been doing some digging. The Inquisition has a safe house up in Manhattan. I think that's where they're keeping him. The scarred one, I mean. Your eyes are pretty. I want to pay them a visit. Kill that thing, as many of those SI bastards as I can along the way. That's a bad idea. Attacking a government safe house? Correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't that be considered a breach of the Masquerade? Yeah, and that's the least of our worries. Throwing a legion of armed goons standing in our way and all-powerful vampires the cherry on top? Look, I'm not stupid. I know it's risky as hell, and I'm well aware I might not be coming back. Still, it's something I have to do, with or without your help. It's like I don't have much choice. Does Raoul know about this? Just out of curiosity, does Raoul know about this master plan of yours? He does now. Hey! What's up? I didn't see you there. He emerges from the shadows a mere few feet away from you. Son of a gun finally managed to sneak up on you. He's learning. Tamika eyeballs him as it gets closer. You've seen the dogs. Now they're fine. You've seen that look before. She's clearly asserting her position, but this time it comes off as a formality rather than an actual challenge. How long have you been there, Raoul? Long enough. I'm still not buying that whole scarred one bullcrap, but taking a bite out of the Inquisition's collective ass is just too good to pass up. I want in. Is no one gonna be the voice of reason? I'm the voice of reason? I'm never the voice of reason. Who am I kidding? I'm always the voice of reason by default. Alright, better believe it. Why would your sister lie to you? Believe it or not, just be ready for it. Wait, these don't feel... Who are you going to believe if not your sister? Why would she lie to you? I never said she was lying. More like exaggerating, just enough to keep me away from the action. Because, you know, little me couldn't possibly look after himself. Now, can we move this along? I'm itching to kill some SI fucks. Tamika, you got an opinion? Huh, guess I know who the alpha is around here. We both know. We both know. This is not news to either one of us. He should come with us. He's got the right to be there. To see the scarred one. With his own eyes. Plus, my brother can be a pain in the ass, but he's one hell of a fighter. There you go. Tam seal of approval. It's settled then. Let's go. Fucking finally. Bitchin', let's ride. And with that, you leave the relative safety of Prospect Park, steeling yourself for things to come. This feels like such a bad idea. As you get closer to your destination, you get the sneaking suspicion that Tamika's been pulling your leg. Following her lead, you take a turn from Broadway into Tyrant Park. Oh. It doesn't seem to make sense, you think to yourself. There's only one spot between here and the Hudson River, but it can't be. Can it? Sure enough, as the stone facade of the cloisters comes into view, Tamika motions at you to keep out of sight. How the hell is this well-known tourist trap a hideout for a Second Inquisition? Honestly, it feels more like out of ego. I mean, look at that. If I was running an organization called the Second Inquisition and I saw that building, I would call dibs. For pure aesthetic alone. You know, I think I actually recognize this building. I think it was in Crisis 2? No, wait, no. That might be a different building I'm thinking of. Alright. Now I want to play Crisis 2. I actually kind of like Crisis 2, and that's sort of like old school. It has like a very like similar vein to like Half-Life 1's kind of storytelling approach. I mean, it's not as good, but it's... I remember liking that game a lot. Anyway. The cloisters, seriously? Wait, isn't this place a tourist attraction? Ooh, excuse me. Only during the day. So what, they just hide their guns during the day? At night, it serves as stage ground for the Inquisition. Oh, it's a staging ground. Okay. So it's more like a place they meet up. Alright. If my sources are to be trusted, they usually are. Oh, wait. If my sources are to be trusted, and they usually are, they brought him here for what they call processing. Doubt they'll keep him for long, though. If we want to get to him, it's now or never. As if on cue, a group of armed guards walk out of the museum, pushing a gurney with a large steel container on top of it. As they wheel it out into the open, a truck approaches. The operatives start preparing to load the crate onto the vehicle. You scan the area, trying to take a head count. Tamika beats you to it. I count at least 7, probably more inside. We should do this quietly, take him out one by one. Raoul frowns. I say we go in, guns blazing. Figuratively speaking. If there are more inside, let them come. The more the merrier. Oh, hell no. We're not doing a frontal assault. Why don't I try talking to them? Could it be that simple? No, let's do stealthy. Tamika's right. We should get in quietly. Take them out one by one. Tamika nods in silence. Ugh, fine. Let's do this already, before you do bore me to final death. You split up, aiming to cover as much ground as possible, sticking to the shadows you advance, keeping track of one another's progress. You hardly even notice as Tamika takes out the first guard, not peep out of him. Trying to keep up, Raoul kills one to your left. He's sloppy, takes his sweet ass time bleeding the guy out. With his dying breath, the man lets out a yelp, drawing the attention of one of his comrades. With the guard fast approaching, you ponder your options. Choke him out. As the guard walks by, you leap out of the shadows and put him in a crushing headlock. Opting for a non-lethal approach, you quickly choke out the guy. God, that sounds so bad, though. It sounds like brain damage. Just as you're about to move on, Raoul jumps in and plunges his claws into the man's chest. Okay, Vegeta, sure. He then turns towards you and mutters a sign of reprimand. No witnesses. Man, what did he witness? Honestly, 3 down, 4 to go. You keep a steady pace, moving across the courtyard, picking off the guards one by one. Tamika does her part, 3 to go. Raoul gets messy again, at least this time he's quiet. With only 2 of them left, you pick one for yourself and gesture at one of your fellow ferals to take care of the other. Tamika's quieter, but Raoul's closer. Which one will you choose? Let Raoul do it. Not Raoul. That's all the encouragement he needs. You can see him grinning like an idiot as he sneaks up on one of the guards. The grin soon turns to be very faint. Instead of dispatching the enemy quickly and quietly, Raoul gleefully taps him on the shoulder. He's gonna do the Han Solo. As soon as the guy turns around, the feral slashes him across the face. Feeling the gooey warmth of his own eyeballs on his cheeks. Oh no. The man lets out a blood-curdling scream. Oh, damn it. Startled, the final guard turns toward you. As all 3 of you approach him, the dire reality of the situation hits him like a ton of bricks. Paralyzed with fear, he keeps shifting his aim from you to Tamika to Raoul. He's severely fucked and he knows it, and since you're standing closer to him, you might as well do the honors. Feeding. You walk over to the quivering mess that mere moments ago thought himself the toughest of the tough, but before you can react, you slap the gun out of his hands, lean in, and smile. Hi. Half a second later, your fangs are already halfway to his windpipe. The blood tastes sour, with a hint of cowardice and regret. Could have gone out with a bang, chose to go out with a gurgle. Oh well. With the SI operatives taken care of, you turn your attention to the container sitting in the middle of the courtyard. Using your combined strength, you make quick work of the steel door. As you walk in, the moonlight from behind you illuminates a twisted figure huddled on the floor. It's hard to believe that the thing lying before you, beaten and tortured within an inch of its unlife, is the same creature you fought back at the cemetery. What the fuck is that thing? The boogeyman. It's what happens when you lose control. When you let the beast take over. His lips move silently as if searching for the right words. He looks to you, then turns to his sister as if waiting for a sign. For a moment, Tamika just stands there. She looks down at this scarred one. I keep wanting to say sacred one for some reason. The once fearful boogeyman whose very mention could strike terror in the hearts of her tribe, now reduced to a whimpering pile of flesh. Finally, she turns to you with a look of childish innocence mixed with confusion. Then she looks back at the scarred one. You can tell she's lost. Tam, what the hell are you waiting for? Let's kill this thing, get out of here. You sure? Somehow it doesn't seem right. This is your choice. I can't make it for you. She turns to you with a look of pride mixed with desperation. I'm not asking you to. Do it, Tam. You know he deserves it. Hell, looks like you'll be doing him a favor. Wait, did I miss something? I feel like I just missed something. Yeah, why do I feel like I missed something? Huh. I don't like killing anyone. Whatever we do, there will be consequences. Mistress Longtome, you don't have to. But it doesn't need to be your choice. Suddenly, the very air around you seems to thicken. You look over to Tamika. She's not quivering anymore. She walks up to the scarred one. The pitiful creature presses itself into the corner, in a desperate and futile attempt to crawl away. Without a word, she grabs the creature by the ears, sinking her claws in the sides of his head. She looks him dead in the eye. Her voice cuts through the air like cold steel. Stay out of my territory. Okay, good. In one fluid motion, she rips the chain off the wall. The pitiful shadow that was once the scarred one scurries off into the night. Raoul seems flabbergasted. Tam, what the hell are you doing? Carving her own path. Standing outside the steel container, the 3 of you take a moment to gather your thoughts. You look at one another, at the blood stain in your hands, clothes, and face, and the pale moonlight appears black and shiny like a fresh ink stain on a fresh sheet of paper. Without another word, you head back toward the city lights. One of these nights. The journey back takes longer than it did the other direction. With bits and pieces of the Second Inquisition still stuck to your clothes, you decide to play it safe by sticking to back alleys and cutting through the darker corners of the city. Tamika stays several steps ahead. Both you and Rahul look quite content to follow her lead. You can tell that these last few nights have taken a toll on her, but not necessarily in a bad way. She seems stronger somehow, confident, more in tune with herself. Soon the awkward silence proves unbearable enough that you're willing to risk making small talk with Rahul. You think she's gonna be alright? Yeah, I think so. She's just gotta figure some stuff out. Our lineage, we have a special relationship with the beast. We can either let it control us, or become attuned to it. It's a constant struggle, marked with different choices. I think Tam just made one of them. Hold on, I want to... Which are you again? Clan... Tortor... Ventru... Is it Bruja? Okay, no, it's not the Bruja. Gangrel, that's what it was. Okay. Why is it Kaisi? Why is it the... Pharaoh say the prince will either accept it or have to fight the Pharaoh again to back down. You're gonna put a bit they're coming for those wolves, pharaohs, outcasts, or more dogmen. Okay, yeah. Gangrel. It's a constant struggle, marked difficulties. I think Tam just made one of them. Pondering what you've just heard, the rest of the trip barely registers. To your surprise, you suddenly find yourself back at Prospect. Tamika keeps walking. She strides through the park gate like a queen of old, returning after a victorious conquest. You want to call out to her, but Rahul stops you with a gesture. Not yet. Give her some time to process all this shit. She'll let you know when she's ready. And hey, you did alright. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're still an asshole, but yeah, thanks. You're cool too, Rahul. He smiles at you. Wonders never cease. See you around. See you, Rahul. And with that, he follows his sister's footsteps. A weird smile creeps onto your face as you meld into the New York night. Yeah! Okay, so that's where I'm gonna stop for this night, because we just went through like 3 nights. Ooh, I want to savor this game just a little bit longer. I honestly don't know how much longer we have of this game, really. This should take me... Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. And that is this week's episode of Vampire the Masquerade. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. If you like what you see here, please hit that follow button, and make sure that the alert thing's on so you know whenever I'm going live. And if you want to see more of my streams, you can take a look at all my past broadcasts, but you can also take a look at my profile and see a link to my YouTube channel, which should have all of my past stream archives for the Betwixt Galleria. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm saying a lot. If you look down below in the video description and the comment section, hopefully, there is a link to my Twitch channel so you can catch these as they happen live. Now, let's see who can raid. I think Bo's still... No, Bo's done. Oh, Silver Bronze is doing something. Yeah, that's right, her. She's a fun streamer. I'll leave you with the butteriest of buns. Does she allow raid? Yeah, she allows raid. Okay, neat. Alright. Take care, everyone. I will see you next Tuesday where we continue more of our Control stream, we're going to finish up the DLC for Control and see how that turns out. And for Thursday, I think we're going to do Far Lone Sail. That's the name of the damn thing. Sorry, I keep forgetting the name of that game. We're going to do Far Lone Sail. That's another little game. I'm not sure how long that is either, so it's probably going to be another short game. Probably like a couple streams for that one. And after that, I'm thinking we can probably play Dishonored for Thursdays. That's my thought. But until next time, take care, everyone. Love ya. Bye-bye.